what do you do if you're in a situation where you get an unplanned or unexpected pitch? So you weren't planning, you didn't think it would happen, and there you are pitching. And I said, aha. So you mean where your tongue turns into a duvet and your brain turns into scrambled egg? He said, exactly right. And I said, you're driving home thinking, oh man, I should have said this and I should have said that. Well, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Too late. Well, that's not uncommon. So what we're going to do is we're going to zero in on that. So what should you do if you find yourself in the position of having an unplanned or unexpected pitch? I want to remind you of something important. Now, those people that saw the first pitching video will recognize this screen. I'm not going to go through it all again because you can watch the first video again if you want to do that. But this is the relationship selling life cycle. There it is. And you've got the capture where you find someone, then you get through their defenses and begin a conversation, build that relationship, build confidence to the point that they give you the opportunity to pitch, which is that little yellow line at the end. Now, unfortunately, that's not to scale. So if this was to scale, you wouldn't see that yellow line. You wouldn't see anything because the first 3 boxes can be months or even years. And on average, when you're targeting brand new people, if you think of that orange line as a 100-yard dash, then the yellow line, the pitch, is about 0.1 of a millimeter. Okay, but it's so important because if you win, you go home with the cash. But if you fail, then you're going to get nothing. Okay, so let me just come back to you. We call it a surprise pitch. Okay, so everything we do, if you look online, stuff that we produce, this is what it means. It's not like it's a surprise. It just means there was no planning to it. So this is that program. It's in 5 steps. The first thing is you begin by exploring outcomes and obstacles. Now, you don't need to prepare for this at all, really. I mean, it's nice if you have, but you can just ask, really. You can begin to explore. You're already in the space where they're opening up with their challenges, which is what these are. But what kind of outcome would they look for? What would be the end result? And what's stopping them from getting there? Now, a couple of bear traps here. The first thing is we get carried away with our product sometimes. So if I sold an electric drill, I want to talk about the drill features and the benefits and how cool it is and all these things. But actually, the person buying it doesn't want a drill. They want a hole in a wall. That's their outcome. The drill is just a mechanism to get it. So chances are whatever you're selling is just actually a mechanism to get something. Okay, so don't get hung up too much on your own product or service. Also, people will spend a lot of time on obstacles, the problems, the challenges that they face, which is fine, and you need them to do that. You need to understand what they are. But actually, don't lose sight of the outcome. What are these challenges stopping them from doing? So in my case, for example, I might be talking to someone, and obviously as a business growth consultant, we have a range of 3 different things that we can sell. And what I'm trying to do is A, figure out whether this person actually needs what I'm selling, and B, which of those 3 is the best option for them. So I'm going to talk about the outcome, which is a scalable business, which you can grow as big as you like, which has got a sustainable revenue stream. So in other words, you can choose how much business you do, and that you're completely in control of without being ingrained if that's not what you want, right? So that's the outcome that I'm looking for, or a variation on it. And I understand the obstacles because I've done the research. I know the things that stop people from doing that. So people might say, well, we can't get the sales staff, the obstacle, okay? We don't seem to have a process, an obstacle, So these things are building up. Now, at the end of this stage, it's just a summary. So let me get this straight then. So what you actually want is a scalable business that you're in control of, okay? You want to be able to choose the kind of business that you do. And the obstacles are the challenges you get in sales staff. Yeah. Okay, so obviously I'm doing this a lot quicker because I want to get through this and get to the Q&As. But you would understand if I was doing this live, it would take more time. Then I'm going to hit them with the headline solution. So this is how we would achieve it. So I'd say, well, we've got a thing called the revenue factory, which does all of that for you. Okay, so it will build a scalable business that you're in control of. It will help you to dictate which clients you deal with and the type of business that you do. Let me dig a little deeper now and explain how that works. Okay, so that's a transition. Number 2 is very short, but then takes us to number 3, which is the big one. This is the big one. So this is where you're going to demonstrate how your features of your product or service will overcome the obstacles that are stopping the client getting the outcome that they want. Okay, in simple terms. And during this as well, you're going to highlight the USPs. So I might say, again, this is very quick. I might say, okay, well, one of the problems that people face quite often is that they want people to change and develop, so have to learn things, but they don't have the time to send them on courses. And even if they did, quite frankly, Who can sit around half a day in a course and learn stuff and then use it? No one does that anymore. But we've got an online academy where you can have small chunks of learning, 5 or 10 minutes, that people can just use to improve and change themselves, to suit their diary, to suit their lifestyle, blah, 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 right? So that's unique. No one else has that to the extent that we do. So it's that kind of thing. I'm drawing out and showing how the obstacles can be overcome by the features in my product or service, and drawing attentions to those that I think are unique. Next, this is a big one, we want to drench people in credibility. By that, I mean there should be no doubt that whatever it is that you're trying to sell them works. It's fit for purpose. It does what it says on the tin. The best way to do that is to quote examples or case studies. What I would normally say is I've had 2 successful businesses built on my formula, the thing that I sell. 40 million, 25 million, both sold, both for a good price, and we use the formula to do that. But we've also used it with clients, blah, blah, blah. You go to the website, there's all the videos there. You can watch my clients saying what they think about me. And also I can set you up with a telephone call with anybody, any of my clients. I'm happy to do that, right? So again, drench them in credibility. There should be no doubt. Yes, they're very good at what they do, okay? And then the last one, which is one a lot of people struggle with, which is this, is you make the next step, the call to action, a no-brainer. By that, I mean that there is, why wouldn't you do it? So I might say, well, look, it sounds like I might be able to help with this. What I need to be able to do is produce a proposal for you with what we would do and how it would work and how we would charge for that. And to do that, I'm just going to need an hour of your time. I'll come to your offices and we'll just ask you some questions, and I can go away and do it and then come back and present the proposal. I mean, why wouldn't you really? If I've done a good job in 3 and 4, if I've actually demonstrated that this thing works and proved that it works, then the no-brainer should be just that, a no-brainer. So essentially, I'm going to come back and revisit that a little later, but essentially it's the simplest thing to do. It's not difficult to do that. You should practice it for sure. And the things that you will need to do in advance, and you should just do this anyway, you should have a way of representing your headline. So what you actually do, you represent that in a way that's dead punchy, 2 or 3 sentences, which kind of get it across, which then leads you into your features and benefits. So you must understand what your features are, what challenges they overcome that clients have, and which of those are unique or at least very uncommon. If you can do that, it's pretty much straightforward. Nobody will catch you out on an unexpected pitch ever again. You'll never have that, oh, if only I'd said this, that, or other. Those days will be in the past.